going on, guys? And in the video right before this, if you've seen it, I was trying to throw out some predictions on where Destiny could go, and I left out something that is kind of glossed over in the Destiny universe, and that is the Stranger. We've all met her, we all have questions about her, but then she slowly slips back underneath the radar. She played somewhat of a major role in the regular storyline, but that storyline wasn't that interesting. But the Stranger's still there, and she raises more questions than answers, because she kind of just pops in and out and says, hey, great evil out there, and I'm fighting it, but see ya. There's many clear conclusions you can come to with the Stranger. One of them that is mostly accepted around the Destiny community is that the Stranger is from the future. That's pretty much a given. The world she lives in is much different than our own. It's changed. In that world, supposedly the Vex are the rulers of the universe. They've taken control of every single planet, and they pretty much killed off most living things. As you see, they've terraformed all of Mercury, and they're doing so on Venus. Then they'll move to Earth, Mars, and while they're doing that, they're also doing that in all other parts of the galaxy. So it seems that the Vex are pretty much an unstoppable force if you know a lot about them. They have almost an unlimited supply amount of Vex, where they can just pull them from the past, pull them from the future. They're just an unbeatable enemy. It's no surprise that they have come to be the superpower of the future. But the Stranger lives in a more apocalyptic world than our own, and what she did theoretically is that her and a group of Guardians, that's unclear to us, but we think there's more than one, have managed to use the Vex time gates and jump back in time to come visit us. She thinks that you can stop all this, although she doesn't really do a great job of telling us that. She kind of just leads us in direction and then disappears again. She does come back in the future and gives us a weapon. If you notice in the original storyline of Destiny, it's mostly revolving around the Vex. I mean, the main boss is the Black Garden, and you fight Vex. That's the Stranger's main enemy. When you take a step back, it does sound kind of cliche. Just someone from the future coming back to the past, trying to change the future. More evidence to support that she's from the future is that the Stranger's rifle that she does give you does state that there's some parts within the gun that have not yet come to existence. They're so far beyond present technology that they just don't exist. You could argue that maybe there is just another part of the galaxy that is far more advanced, but we have the Vex in this equation. Time is not out of the question. Digging through the grimoire that Destiny loves to lay out, the Stranger does keep a log. In one of the first inputs or the first log entries of this entire grimoire card, she talks about a certain moment. This is record number 84. She states, "Right with this time, wrong where. The world's so big on the horizon, wasn't expecting it. As it happens, something's here that's not supposed to be other than myself. Will return." That is the first entry. They're all relatively the same size, and they all have to deal with time and place. We can safely assume this is where she first saw you. Skipping forward 2 log entries, she does talk about this. An unexpected extraction. These Guardians stopped some dark ritual before I could reach it, tearing the light away, like the Garden. Too similar to Go Uncharted. As you do know, the Exo Stranger likes to watch over you from a distance and does not like to talk to you, just likes to observe. As stated in the next one, successfully observed Guardian discovery of Hive on Luna. No evidence today of knowledge past Vex breaches here. Delay in return command is liability to solve before engaging this close again. As you see, the Vex are stated here again. She's very worried about the Vex, because the Vex is what becomes the great superpower of the future and destroys everything. Her last entry is when you're on Venus. It says, "Back to the temple again, but this time, little one knows I'm here. I have seen the failures of so many, but none have been as interesting. Prepare to engage." Preparing to engage obviously means when you've finished clearing out the endless waves of enemies, she does appear and you talk to her. Not much is to be said though. The reason behind this video and talking about the Exo Stranger is quite simply because I completely forgot about her myself. I've seen her in the comments before in some of my other videos. You guys do bring her up quite often. It just seems right to talk about her just after I talked about where Destiny could go. Where could the Stranger storyline go? She's obviously not done yet. She talks about this great war against the darkness far off in another galaxy. It's clear that we'll be seeing her again, but when, and why, and what will we be facing? It's safe to say that the solar system is almost clear of Vex. Obviously, there's still some lurking around. We've yet to clear Mercury, but one planet isn't that bad. It's obvious that in a far-off galaxy, the Vex have taken control of countless star systems, and that is also where Destiny could go. But the Exo Stranger should not be forgotten like she has been in my case. She's a part of a faction that fights the darkness practically alone. Or not. Maybe she has a full fleet of Guardians on her back. They don't have ghosts. They're ghostless Guardians. Maybe they're not even Guardians. She does state that. She doesn't use the light. So there's definitely another layer to Destiny that we have yet to touch up on. I mean, most of this lore is pretty solid, whereas the Stranger is just kind of walking on thin ice. There's really not a lot to go off on with her. It's just a lot of speculation and theories, although they may be pretty strong. To sum it all up, the Exo Strangers come from the future to help you, or me, any Guardian in general, to help destroy the Vex for once and for all. I have no idea how we're going to do that. Supposedly that heart was going to finish it off, but that's not true. That's a little too simple. We're talking about the universe here. In the future, there's going to be a lot more battles. You could probably even join a new faction. Maybe you can choose to join this faction and release your ghost. Quite a turn. Something that Destiny needs is options to kind of lead you in this one direction, and there's not much choices to be had besides which faction you join. What there should be is a change, whether you follow the Speaker or you follow the Exo. Back before Destiny was released and the story was a little bit shaky and not fully complete, there was an idea pitched. It's an idea that I've covered before and it's still out there and could be still valid, but here's the part that really isn't. The Stranger has her own group. She has 2 other Guardians and a Speaker, and a character called the Crow. Now, the Crow could either not be in the universe at all, or is in the universe, but secretly waiting to come into the storyline. What they do is, this faction is against the Traveler. They know the Traveler has brought darkness upon you, or the human race, and they're trying to fight it. They don't have ghosts because they don't believe that they should, and ghosts are little parts of the Traveler. Why would they have one? They don't wield light. Maybe the light is just kind of the Traveler gives you. Maybe they have some other form of power. Maybe they use the darkness itself. I'm sure Toland would be very proud. But Destiny needs a choice. You either choose the so-called light or the so-called darkness. You could choose the faction to fight the Traveler, or you could choose the faction to fight the darkness, whichever one is right. I wouldn't mind ditching my ghost and to be with the Stranger, because she seems to be fighting a much bigger war than we are. If you guys have any other theories about the Exo Stranger or other facts I left out, you can comment down below. That would be very helpful. But that's been it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, Guardians.